Welcome. That's not my background music. Let me turn off this sound real quick. Welcome to Jackson's Warfield. Today we're going to be reacting to the new Wave 4 HeroScape Age of Annihilation Embers of War unit reveals. So this is the second time I've reacted to one of these release videos. Well, actually, technically the third time. But the first time I did it, I wasn't super happy with my recording. I was basically just laughing to myself because I was screwing up all the unit names like the dad that I am. But today, hopefully I won't screw up any names, and hopefully Renegade won't screw up the audio. So let's watch. This is Renegade Con. That's where the HeroScape reveals are happening.
What's up, Renegades? Welcome to...
And now the audio appears to be working so far. It started well last time. We'll see if it keeps going. Oh God, their audio's low. Oh man.
Into it. The next HeroScape arc is called...
Fix the volume.
Drumroll. Embers of War. The Embers of War burn ever brighter, with fighters large and small from Icaria and Arboreus joining the fray. Meanwhile, as the pirates of the Crimson Fleet increase their raids, fierce and unfathomable denizens of Valhalla's depths rise to challenge them. This arc is set to release in October of 2025, this year. Lee, what's our first reveal for Embers of War?
All right, so some of you might have seen this Army expansion teased over the past few weeks, and I'm excited to say that the Dreadnoughts are finally joining the battle. This expansion comes with the Dreadnoughts of the Caraway Cavern and their fearless captain, the Crimson Widow. The Dreadnought.
So for those of you unfamiliar, the original Age of Annihilation reveal for back when it was a Hasbro Pulse campaign and a big teaser, you had this thing called Age of Annihilation Vanguard Edition, which was probably like a $500 box, and that had these units in it. So I think a lot of people are expecting these units to finally get released because they were designed, you know, the models were designed way back with the Hasbro stuff, but Renegade hadn't gotten around to releasing them yet, and so these guys were in there.
Dreadnoughts were recruited by the Crimson Widow, and they're fiercely loyal to her. If you've been looking for more pirates, you are totally in luck with this set.
Yeah, I've been seeing a ton of chatter on Discord about wanting more pirates. If you're not a pirate lover, you're definitely gonna be, because this set is super cool. Let's check out the army cards for the Dreadnoughts.
I wasn't necessarily trying to hold for pirates myself. Pirates seems to be a little bit of a loosely themed army because every pirate unit seems to be a mix of other units. Like, for example, you had a Marrow pirate. To me, that's a Marrow unit, but you know, if you like the mishmash of units that HeroScape is, I can understand liking pirates.
When playing with this unique squad, at the start of the game, you'll choose one unique captain character in your army to control the Dreadnoughts. When they are near their captain, they'll get to roll an extra defense die.
For sure. And another piratey ability they have is Captain's Orders. Before taking a turn with the Dreadnoughts, you can first take a turn with their captain or a pirate hero you control. The more pirates you have in the Dreadnoughts crew, the better. And the final ability for the Dreadnoughts is Mortal Blow. After attacking, you roll one attack die for each wound you inflicted in that attack. So for each additional skull roll, you'll inflict another wound.
Owie. They're holding some mean-looking weapons. And there's...
You know, as Lee says for sure a lot in these.
Talk about pirate captains on this army card. So if it's only fair, we introduce you to one of our favorite captains, the Crimson Widow.
Since every good captain needs a crew, the first ability on this army card is Hire Crew. At the start of the game, you may choose a unique squad from an army, and for that game, that squad becomes pirates, replacing the class listed on their army card.
This is a really cool ability. Imagine making your Frostclaw Paladins or Vord Glide Strikers pirates. They'll need a little pirate hat or an eye patch or something.
Oh yes, little pirate hats would be amazing, especially on like the bears. So
we can
players already use
some stuff together.
yes, little pirate hat accessories, love it. But anyway, back to Crimson Widow. So once Crimson Widow has a squad of pirates to command, she unlocks two other super cool abilities. Using Pirate Commander, while there's an order marker on Crimson Widow, all pirates you control increase their attack value by 1 when attacking adjacent figures. And with Midnight Raid, if you reveal the X order marker on Crimson Widow's army card, you can choose up to 2 pirates you control within 6 spaces to move around.
Yeah, if you want to give these pirates a
It's interesting that there are a lot of order marker type mechanics with the pirates. I like in the idea of declaring a captain. I thought that was a cool pirate mechanic. These other situational buffs, like where you're within range of a pirate or like an order marker on a pirate, those I'm not as big of a fan of, although the order marker being on a pirate, like the X order marker being on a pirate and giving a boost there, can be more useful than if your units have to be close to the pirate to get a boost, like with Midnight Raid. Did I understand that right? Yeah, within clear sight spaces. That can be a little bit tough to manage. It depends on how tricky you're trying to be with your order markers. It depends on how tricky you're going to be with your order markers, whether or not you prefer to basically sacrifice your X order marker to this buff, or rather just keep your units together on the battlefield.
shot, you can pre-order this expansion on our web store using the link in the chat below. The standard unpainted edition is $40 and the premium painted edition is $60. This set will be released in October. I also want to remind everyone that all army cards and character bios for the characters revealed today will be on HeroScape.com. So don't worry about rushing to read the card or screenshot or anything. You can head over to the site after the stream to check everything out.
All right, time to move on to the next reveal. The second army expansion coming in October is the Great Bow Archers and Scions of Ikaria. The Scions of Ikaria are an eclectic bunch of princelings known for their squabbling, and their enemies, the Great Bow Archers, are fighters trained in dragons.
Those are kind of cartoony little dragon guys. Almost looks a little bit like How to Train Your Dragon type. They seem happy.
This army expansion contains 2 common squads, a 2-figure common squad of archers and a 3-figure common squad of scions. Anais, can you walk us through the army card for the Great Bow Archers?
Yeah, I can do that. So these are large figures wielding giant bows. Their ability is simple but really powerful if used strategically. The long shot specialist ability says that when a Great Bow Archer who hasn't moved attacks a figure at range 4 or greater, you add 1 to the attack value. If the target range is 7 or more, you instead gain +2 to the attack value. This squad has a range of 7, which is insane. I think my strategy would be to set them up somewhere high.
7 isn't that insane. You had Savaris with 8 in the original Master set, and Deadeye Dan with 9. It's insane for New Age of Annihilation, though. That's really good range. But also being able to get 5 attack, because you see, it doesn't say special attack here. It says Longshot Specialist, which means their normal attack goes up to 4 or to 5, which means, because it's a normal attack, you still get a height bonus if your guys are on height. So that's pretty strong. For 80 points, I like these guys. I also like that they're common squad. It's nice to see some more common squad. So interesting that they're giants. Large 8? That's kind of cool. I like these guys.
High and attack from there, then I'd hopefully get the height advantage bonus too. What do you think, Lee?
I mean, that's a pretty solid strategy. That's where I like to be when I have ranged figures, but I should probably tell everyone about the dragons that these ladies are hunting, the Scions of Ikaria.
I think Lee already sounds like she's trying to stop Anais from talking. Like, enough with the funny business. Like, she'd probably put some more friendly segues in there.
So these scions like to rub elbows with the royalty, the elite, and other dragons, as you can see in their Cleave to the Mighty ability. At the start of the game, you choose an archmage, dragon, king, or queen unique hero you control and make them the liege of all scions you control. You can take a turn with the chosen liege right after you assign them to the role. The Draconic Breath special attack lets them target figures within 3 clear sight spaces with range 4 and attack 2. And of course, in true dragon fashion, these little babies can fly.
Awesome. Love that. And you all can pre-order this expansion.
Those scions seem a little weak. Although, so their biggest bonus is probably getting that extra turn for the declared liege.
Let's move on to the next reveal. Lee, you want to talk about this one?
Oh my goodness, yes. This one's super exciting. So this is another set I know people have been waiting for. I'm excited to announce the Krakenling and Gallery Vanguards. This expansion contains a 4-figure common squad and a new common hero. The Gallery Vanguards are the Kiri's aquatic cousins, and after years of non-intervention, they've finally joined the battle with terrifying monsters in tow.
those are basically winged Zoidbergs. I would like it if they weren't wearing suits. Like, at least if they were wearing, like, just pants, I think that would look better. I mean, they swim. Why do they need clothing? Are they wearing clothing? That looks like clothing. They're, like, wearing wetsuits? Like the shell chest thing. Sorry, I'm digesting, but I like that these are all kind of aquatic. I like the idea of an aquatic expansion. Just those guys are kind of, I guess it's not something you've usually seen before. Are those wings or flippers? I guess they're fins. Are those like dorsal fins, or are they like supposed to propel them through the water?
Like the Krakenling. Let's take a look at the army card for the Gallery. Anais, can you break this squad down for us?
Yeah. So the Gallery Vanguards are a fierce common squad with some really cool.
Why did they spell it Gallery? Why didn't they Gallery like Kyrie? Because see, it's like R-Y-I-E as opposed to Y-R-I-E. A lot of people are going to get the spelling wrong on that. Look forward to that on message boards.
Cool abilities. Their first ability, Tidal Advance, says that at the start of each round, after placing your order markers, you may move each fierce and unfathomable figure you control up to 1 space each for each order marker on the Galrai Vanguard. Their next ability is Defend the Deep. You can add 2 to your defense value when a Galrai Vanguard is on water or when it's defending against a figure that has a height advantage. And as you might have guessed, these fishy folks are natural-born swimmers. The Galrai Vanguards do not have to stop their movement when...
So now we're getting a little bit more of the, I guess, pregame move mechanics. Like, that's interesting. So I like that, where they actually defend better from depth as opposed to height. That's kind of cool. Just kind of weird-looking dudes.
When entering a water space.
Oh,
hydrate in honor
love
of the
this
water
squad
guys.
so much. I can't wait to gush about them more, but I should probably tell y'all about their not-so-little buddy, the Krakenling. The Krakenling is a large common hero, meaning you can have multiple of these buddies in your army. The Warp Space ability says that instead of moving normally, you may place a Krakenling on an empty space within 4 spaces to pop around the battlefield. And then there's the Eldritch Switch, where after moving normally, a Krakenling may switch spaces with an adjacent single space figure. If you move this way, those figures don't take any leaving engagement attacks. Next, there's the Flailing Tentacles ability. A Krakenling may attack up to 3 times, but you must reduce the number of attacks by 1 for each wound it has. And like the Galrai Vanguards...
So that's like the Fen Hydra from the old original D&D expansions.
These huge buddies have the swim ability, meaning they don't have to stop their movement when entering water.
This expansion is super cool.
We have one more army expansion to reveal before we get to terrain. This is the Heroes of Arboris.
They should really do terrain first, unless they're trying to hit things fast. I would want to tease the units more.
Each of the wizards in the set seeks to refine their power in connection to the natural world, but their methods could not be more diverse. While some cultivate groves and are themselves cultivated in return, others exert their arcane might to break the minds of beast and person alike.
This set contains 5 new unique heroes, all with their own awesome abilities. We're going to break each of these heroes down for you now.
These are more units that were part of the Vanguard edition release. If you see, these guys are kind of tied into the Dryan Lifeborn Order, where you had Zenithrax, the Vine Weaver, Holucia, Scion of the Wild, which I just realized now, is that Scion? So more types of Scions? I guess the Scions were dragons, but he was, unless I'm getting the units wrong, I don't know what a Scion is here, because I didn't think that was a trait. Anyway, let's hear what the units do. By the way, I'm hoping that the little winged guy has a cool abilities.
So let me start by telling you about Marachat, Mind Whisperer. This Dryan wizard can control beasts and control the minds of other heroes. So let's dive into the army card. Command Familiar allows Marachat to take a turn with a small or medium beast you control after revealing an order marker on Marachat. The Staff of Curapirin allows Marachat to add 2 automatic skulls to attack rolls when rolling for a normal attack. And her final ability is Marachot's Whisper. After revealing an order marker on Marachot and before taking a turn with her, you can choose a unique hero within 2 spaces of her and roll to try and control their mind. If you succeed, you can temporarily take control of that hero and take a turn with them.
And the next hero in this set is...
Hold on. I gotta read this a little smaller font. Okay, so that's interesting. So Marachot's Whisper is a little bit of a mind shackle, but it's a mind shackle. You can also mind shackle your own unit and bond with it. That's kind of cool. Also, it's interesting that with the staff, it's basically a guaranteed 2 skulls. So it's either 2 or 3 skulls as opposed to just fully randomized there. Command Familiar is a little bit like Iwashia, a bit of a Dryan commonality here. Personality, confident. Okay, it looks kind of confident. I think this is interesting. I think this is a fun unit.
Holochat, Corruptor of Beasts. Holochat is perfect for those of you who love beasts, like me, and goats. Like, she's literally the goat. Her first ability is Command of the Wild, and says that after revealing...
Goat has a number of connotations.
An order marker on the army card, and before taking a turn with her, you can take a turn with up to 2 small, medium, or large beasts
like
you control. And then there's her Staff of the Longhand special attack. This range 6 attack 2 move lets you use this attack before your normal attack. And her Calm the Beast ability says that while defending against an attack from a beast, Holochat increases her defense value by 2. And if all of this just wasn't cool enough, she also flies. Like, if you look at the sculpt, like, you'll actually see that she's levitating. Like, it's amazing.
Oh,
Awesome.
I like that effect for model.
Yeah, very cool. But next, let's talk about Vrono the Bramble-Tooth. This small hero has just 1 ability, but it's super cool. Sharp Thorns says that if an enemy small or medium figure moves onto a space adjacent to Vrono, where a figure can end movement, you can roll a d20. If you roll a 12 or higher, the figure ends its movement and lowers its attack value by 1 until the end of the turn. And if you roll an 18 or higher, Vrono's Sharp Thorns deal 1 wound to that figure. Very cool.
No, I get it.
I love it.
I love little Vrono, like, just like Vrono compared to the rest of the figures. You're just like, oh, such a cute little baby. All right.
1 move, but it's awesome.
Yes. Little.
I'm assuming because it's a beast, it can also get moved by Halushan or whoever the other one was. Sorry, my dad's coming through. I don't remember what the unit was called.
Sassy baby. All right. Well, anyway, on to number 4 from the set. This is Garushia, Grovekeeper, also a Dryan wizard. His first ability is Command Familiar, just like Marachat. Surprise, surprise. And then Garushia has Wicked Thorns, has the same rules as Vrono's Sharp Thorns. Garushia also has Reach, so if an enemy figure is within 2 spaces of Garushia and its level is no more than 9 levels above or 3 levels below Garushia, you can add 1 to his range value when attacking that figure. And his last ability is Gift of the Forest. At the end of the round, if Garushia is next to a tree or like a underbrush piece, you may remove 1 wound marker from his army card.
Sweet. And last but certainly not least,
I like that we're seeing a little bit more, I don't want to say synergies when it's just copying the same ability, but some theming for the Dryan types here, where you have the Thorns, which is like just hurts you when you step near them, but also the Commanding Beast thing, like Warging from Game of Thrones. I like that.
we have Chana the Zenith Wing. This is a unique beast hero with 2 abilities. First is Renew. If Chana is within clear sight spaces of a wizard that you control, instead of attacking, you may roll a d20, and if you roll a 12 or higher, you can remove a wound marker from a friendly adjacent wizard or beast. And Chana's last ability is Stealth Flying. The stealth makes it so you don't take any leaving engagement.
I like this as a cheap unit, but also with the beast synergy and taking the extra moves with beasts is probably what the purpose of this guy is.
So the standard edition is $50 and the premium painted edition is $70. This is available to pre-order right now using the link in the chat below.
And all of
My
these
chat's to the
heroes
right.
synergize with the figures like Awashia, Master of Tides, and Anshu the Welkanai from the Battle for the Wellspring battle box, and Rockshot, Steward of Death from the Age of Annihilation Master set. So I am super excited for everyone to finally be able to like get their whole Dryan family together and like try them all out. It's oh my gosh.
So happy that, you know, like Rockshot and Halusha and Awashia.
Let's talk about terrain. Lee, take it away.
All right. We have 2 new terrain expansions to reveal today. The first is the runes at Lar's Edge. This set provides players with versatile Lar wall terrain pieces that can be used to create fortifications and obstacles. And also, they are stackable, so you can create some truly epic walls and just crazy tall structures.
That's right. Here's a full breakdown of everything in this set. So this expansion contains over 30 wall terrain pieces. You can mix and match wall pieces with your existing HeroScape terrain to create the ultimate battlefield. It's very cool.
I honestly, like, I can't wait to see what everyone builds with this. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. Like, just crazy walls like everywhere. It's going to be awesome. And there's new pieces in it too to provide people with more options, which will be fun. Well, so everyone can pre-order.
Walls are a fun aspect of map building. I guess this isn't like a fortress necessarily, like the original fortress of the Archkiri set, but that's okay. Being able to build walls is also key for being able to set up maps, like your own custom maps that don't have a ton of range units dominating because they can see everything.
Order this terrain set now using the link in chat. The expansion is $70 and is scheduled to be released in October 2025.
So I'm usually an auto buy on these for the units and less so for the terrain. I don't know if I'm going to get this terrain. I just have so much old HeroScape terrain, I don't really need it. But that's my specific situation. I'm not saying necessarily it's bad. This can be a really good addition to someone who just got into HeroScape in the last year or two.
October's a good month. It's going to be a good month. Anybody with an October birthday is going to be celebrating. All right, everyone. The last terrain expansion we're revealing today is the Roads of Valhalla. With this expansion, you can add speed and strategy to your battlefield maps. The road terrain tiles let you boost movement, and short walls that attach to the road let you create custom bridges.
This is my favorite of the terrain expansions. This was the original Roads set. I think it was Road to Forgotten Forest, I think, although that could be, you know, I think that name was used in every form of fantasy ever made. It's like the most common just map building set. It's just fun to build bridges. Like, that's kind of what the HeroScape terrain is kind of designed to do. You can actually build a bridge where units can go under it as opposed to just looking like a cosmetic bridge. So building this and getting actually looks like enough for at least 2 bridges is good. That was a good investment. Is that also,
you can mix and match with your existing HeroScape terrain.
And on screen now, you can see exactly what's in the set. There are 22 terrain pieces in the set, which includes 1 hex and 5 hex road tiles, along with short walls
units usually see over
that
the short
snap
walls
into the 5 hex tiles, allowing you to make spiffy bridges. And like Anaya said, roads will help you move your armies faster. If your figure's movement consists entirely of road spaces, you may add 3 spaces to the movement of that figure. And if you want, you can pre-order this terrain expansion right now with the link in the chat. This expansion is $50, and just like everything else, is coming in October.
The whole movement rule, where if you did your movement entirely on road, you get 3 spaces. I think that was one of the more controversial rules in original HeroScape. A lot of people would house rule that, so that when you had like all but, you could still get a boost of like 1 or 2 if almost all of your movement were on road, because it seems a little silly that you take 1 step on the grass and suddenly you lose 3 movement. I think you should at least maybe move 1. It was an opportunity maybe for them to change that rule, but maybe they couldn't. Maybe they felt like they just had to keep consistent with classic HeroScape.
Someone said in the chat, I have an October birthday and y'all are going to ruin me. And to that I say, tell your family and friends to get this for you for your birthday.
Yeah, HeroScape for birthdays. Yeah.
Perfect bribery. But that's not all of the reveals we have for you. I'm really excited to say that we...
All right, screw it. I'm just going to put it in it'll be my Halloween bag. Kids will get candy, and I'll just end up with this stuff. Be like, what house did you go to? Don't worry about it.
Have an accessory to announce. Introducing the Valhalla dice and tray set. Lee, can you talk a bit about this?
Oh my goodness, yes, especially since I love dice. This premium dice tray and set is super cool and awesome. It features a beautifully illustrated map of Valhalla. It's made from a durable full leather, and it snaps together, so it's easy to set up, easy to store.
That's interesting. I've seen these kind of fall apart, the ones that kind of the snap together ones. Although I do kind of like it. Price is going to be a sticking point.
And easy to carry to game nights, tournaments, or wherever it is you play HeroScape. And on the back, there is a spiffy gold foil stamp, making it look
very spiffy.
Super epic.
Yeah, I love a snappable dice tray because those are great for game store gaming on the go. But yeah, I'm really stoked about this because I'm a total dice goblin. You know, I love my shiny click clacks, so this is gonna be great to add to the collection. This set contains 10 engraved acrylic combat dice and a 20-sided die. Everything you need to roll right out of the box. The colors of these are super nice. It's a 2-color die with gold painted symbols, and they match the dice tray perfectly. So you can flex on all your friends.
I like the, I think I liked the original flag bearers more because those are cool units, and I like the felt bags. But I like to have the dice here. Hopefully these dice don't wear off like the original dice.
For y'all today, and that is our new pre-order promo. If you pre-order at least one of the October releases from our web store, you'll get the special promo for free. And this ARC's promo is Deflectatron. Deployed from hidden spy satellites far above Valhalla, these sturdy Soulborgs descend upon the battlefield, projecting impenetrable force fields around key assets of Vidar's war effort. And nice. Can you talk a bit about what Deflectatron can do?
Vidar
I sure
for 20
can.
years.
So Deflectatron is a medium common hero with some great abilities. The first ability is orbital deployment. Deflectatron doesn't start the game on the battlefield. At the start of the round, before placing order markers, you may play one Deflectatron that has not entered the battlefield on an empty space within 3 clear sight spaces of friendly figures. This means you can drop Deflectatron into battle when you see fit, making for some great strategic moments. Then there's the passive ability, which means a Deflectatron never takes leaving engagement attacks, which is pretty cool. And finally, there's the magnetic deflector shield. Figures adjacent to one or more Deflectatrons cannot determine clear sight of any figures. You can also use this ability to shield attacks on your adjacent figures. If an adjacent figure is being attacked from a distance, you can use this shield to change a die result that was not a shield to a shield. Deflectatrons are a powerful ally to have on your team.
Okay, I didn't understand the first part of that, so let me just read this. All right, so a few things on this guy. This is probably my favorite one because I think it goes well with the original Soulborgs, the Vidar. I'm calling them Vidar. The original Vidar Soulborgs, where you had the Blastatrons, Gladiatrons, all the majors. I like this because it's another. Well, like they said, actually, it's a good tactical asset or strategic asset where you can defend from range and you can get your Trons up and engaged to other units more effectively with some extra defense. The challenge with this is, I guess, if you're next to it, you can't shoot well, which kind of makes sense. That's a good buff, especially because it's a 25-point common hero. But I like the dropping into play thing. That's cool. That adds a lot of theme to the Trons. Someone like me who has a lot of the old stuff, this is going to be a good addition. This is another one I want to get multiple of. Hopefully, we'll see what's up with the pre-order promo nature of this, because it's a promo. There'll probably be a lot of promos for sale, I guess, after.
Hero, and only 25 points, you can reasonably have multiple Deflectatrons in your army, making for some pretty great plays. If you want to get your hands on one of these, you can get one for free by pre-ordering at least one of October releases from our web store or a participating local game store. Remember, game stores have a different offer for this promo, so please check with your game store to make sure they're participating. And if not, tell them to reach out to Renegade. Otherwise, they can also reach out to Renegade if they have any questions. And also, if you're wondering how...
It feels like one of those, like, ask your doctor about Deflectatrons.
Organized play. I want to remind everyone about all the great stuff going on with the HeroScape OP program. Game stores all over the world are hosting HeroScape events. Renegade is supporting
near
stores
me.
with special OP kits. The current figure is Decker the Burrow Breaker, but we have another one coming in late summer. Lee, can you tell everyone who our next OP figure is?
Yeah, of course. Our next organized play figure is Raylan, the Curie Warrior. Your friendly local game store can order kits containing this new Raylan figure, and you can get them through participating in store events.
Another Raylan. I guess Raylan came back to the good side. And now she has really red wings. Huh.
Starting in August.
She's my fave. I'm so excited. So let's talk about
That's
her
a
army
hose.
card. Her
Kids
first
are playing
ability
outside.
is Unyielding. This ability makes it so that other players cannot gain control of, move, or take turns with her. No sneaky mind tricks over here. All right? Then there's Whirlwind Assault. With this ability, she can attack any number of times during her turn, but she cannot attack the same figure more than once. So your opponent definitely won't want to surround her. And her Vengeful Swoop ability says that once per turn, after a friendly figure you control within 4 clear sight spaces defends against a normal attack, if they take 1 or more wounds, you can place Raylan on an occupied adjacent space to the attacking figure and roll a d20. On an 8 or higher, that figure takes 1 wound.
I mean, talk about
I like that. That's kind of cool. So it's like an offensive defense. I like it.
an assist, and obviously, like Raylan, as always, like she flies, so she's just awesome to have on any team and still a threat.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, tell your local game store to get involved with HeroScape Organized Play and to order this kit for Organized Play
Tell
events
your doctor.
beginning in August. We also want to give an early peek at our October OP kit.
So the OP figure coming after Raylan, dropping in October, will be Deflectatron. So you might be like, but you just said it was the pre-order promo, but now it's the OP promo for October. Why? Well, earlier we mentioned that Deflectatron is a common hero, and we know you'll likely want multiple Deflectatrons to launch from orbit.
Who wouldn't?
So
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So we decided to make this both our pre-order promo for October releases and our OP kit for October tournaments. So this will present more ways players can acquire Deflectatron figures.
Awesome. Be sure to ask your store about HeroScape Organized Play and secure this awesome figure when kits drop later this year. And if you're looking to get more involved in organized play, head over to the HeroScape Battle Network.
There's like none of, last I checked, there's nothing in like the northeastern US for this stuff. Like I gotta start making my basement like a game store just to host this.
You just might have one within driving distance or walking distance, who knows? Even if your regular store wasn't able to put one on this year. So Battle Network is a great tool. I love it. Be sure to check it out.
Yeah, and you for sure won't want to.
Do I have to go to Rochester, New Hampshire? That's like 3 hours away.
Mentioned there's some really
Sorry, my 3-year-old really likes to play with the hose and with water stuff outside, so apologies for the background noise. But yeah, no in Connecticut. I haven't seen a single Connecticut, Massachusetts, or Rhode Island, or Vermont for that matter. I've seen a bunch of New Jersey. Yeah. I would like to apply to be a warden because I feel like I should be a warden. Maybe I should talk to my game store.
really cool prizes for folks who participate and exclusive prizes for the winners.
Is that an image of... Well, I call him Utgar, but is that an image of Utgar on the shirt? Or is that... As I call... All right, maybe I don't need to name everything my own, but actually in one of my videos I said I made a deal with my wife and now it's Lovey Attack. It sounds like a Lovey's attacking you. What is that on the shirt? I can't tell. Yeah, no, that's Utgar himself. I almost feel like they never should have depicted like Utgar and Jandar and all of them, but I mean, implies that you need to make a unit for him at some point, almost like the HeroScape version of like a Warhammer Primarch. Can't tell if that shirt is really great or not from this zoomed out, but I'm intrigued.
The chance to have your name immortalized into HeroScape, turned
That's
into
what
an
it's
anagram.
really all about. Yeah.
Yeah, get your name in there. Have your name turned into an anagram, and that name is used for a future HeroScape character, and there's so much more. I know we went through all
That's
these
cool.
prizes in detail during our last Renegade Con. So if you want to learn more, you can go back and check that February stream using the link in chat.
Come compete alongside other incredible young heroes. And
I like that there's a young HeroScape event. HeroScape is kind of like the Pokemon trading card game, where it's at a simplicity level that kids can appreciate, can legit play it. But, you know, if they're 11, they'll learn it. Once they're done playing with the hose outside, which will probably happen around age 11, I guess. So I got a few years before that at my house, but like my 8-year-old can probably play HeroScape if I gave it another shot. My 5-year-old wants to play, but he can't read, so it's a little bit of a tough order for him. My 3-year-old is just going to keep playing with hose.
our community contest winner is Ice Cider by Caps. Thank you to our team of map makers who helped judge the maps with us, and to Tommy for hosting this community contest. Check out these maps and more by visiting our map pool on HeroScape.com. But that covers all our HeroScape events info for GenCon.
I'm surprised that map won it. Not the other maps are cooler. Mixing lava and snow is something HeroScape map makers do all the time because that's what you have to work with. I don't know if I would have voted for that one. That one's a really... Why did that map win? Range would just dominate at that map.
Oh my goodness, she's ginormous. Like,
Yeah.
it's seriously like one of the coolest selfie moments of the con. I'll be hanging out at the
Absolutely.
booth all day too, but I'm not as cool at the selfie moment.
See-
But you know,
I was hoping that
Yeah,
face
there's
meant
a
they're going to
picture
talk more
of
about the
Scott
G.I.
on
Joe
screen.
expansions that are coming eventually.
Well, that's gonna wrap up our HeroScape stream. Thank you so much, Lee, for joining us on another Renegade Con.
oh my goodness, of course. Like, I love being here at Renegade Con. It's always fun. It's always a delight talking about HeroScape with you, Anaya. So thank you.
Yeah, I love talking.
Those are probably your job. All right, so let's recap. From this wave of reveals, I think this is overall solid wave of unit reveals. My favorite thematic reveal is the idea... My favorite thematic reveals, I think, are more of those nature people. What are they called? I don't know what they're called. What they call them together. Like the Dryans. Like, so the ones with the beast bonding. I like that a lot. The pirates, okay. I also like the mechanics for like the underwater people. The hydration people. The ones that are getting hydrated here. That might be my favorite. Maybe my favorite mechanic of any of the units here was the gallery. Yeah, no, my favorite mechanic here is the gallery with their defending the depth ability, where they get better defense from water or from being lower. I like that a lot. But they're probably my least favorite model because they just look like a bunch of Zoidbergs in overalls. I'm all right with more pirate editions. I like that there are more commons. The common archers, the common giant archers, the great bow archers, I think I like them aesthetically the best of all of these, because the idea that those guys are large 8, maybe they look a little cartoonish on the battlefield, but I like that. I like the aesthetically the other guys in this box, the little dragons, little scions. Although on the card they're strangely happy. Maybe the card art is a little bit separate, but I like the idea of having common squad little dragons that pop around. The different colors might be a bit of a challenge to keep them organized, because you think that the white dragons go together and then the red dragons, but if you have common squads and you're moving, how many are in a squad? 3? Yeah, so if you get 3 of these, you could actually group them that way. Just move the 3 orange ones together, the 3 black ones together, and 3 white ones together. And it seems maybe a little bit pedantic to focus on, but I think that's kind of a cool thing. I don't know how many of the common squads I'm going to get. The terrain, they are hitting the mark on the important terrain for HeroScape. Getting walls out there for the new players, that's big. Getting the road and the small walls and the bridge pieces out there for all new players, that's big. The dice box is kind of a modern version of the flag bearer dice. Raylan coming back as a promo again. With Deflectatron, I like as a promo. Deflectatron, I want to get more of those. I don't love the model, but I kind of like the model. I don't know. The weird 3-legged thing, I'll have to see if he's got a head on all sides. I like adding to the Soulborgs instead of just going full Eisenek, which was the new like robot people of the Age of Annihilation mess fit. So overall, I like the wave. I'm gonna go spend an irresponsible amount of money, and I usually get these painted because my backlog for painting is very long. I got a lot of painting to do. So I'll spend the extra money on each of these, but Hope you enjoyed this reaction video. If you like these, let me know. It looks like a HeroScape reveal is going to happen every couple months or so. Maybe the next one will be in October when all this is actually shipping, which means I should be getting the old stuff we ordered before. So that'll be good. Be sure to subscribe to Jackson's Warfield, and I'll see you in the next video.
Hehehehe